Alright, YouTube. I got multiple videos on the way. Just been really busy, haven't really gotten to them, but today I'm trying to figure out how to use a lithium-ion battery. I've used it before and kind of jimmy rigged it, and the most pain in the butt thing is the whole balance charging part. You know, if I just want to charge it straight from the alternator or straight from a power supply, you know, it's easy. You just plug it in and you're good. But if the balance charger, you have to sit there and plug it in and plug this other cord in and hit the buttons. I mean, I got a balance charger back here somewhere. And I was thinking of the balance boards, right? Looked up this video on YouTube about it. And for real, all it does is mainly a protection board over current, over discharge, and overcharge protection. So if you overcharge it, it'll cut off. If you over discharge it, it'll cut off. If you short circuit, it'll cut off. The thing is, the guy in the guy's video, he said that all the cells have to be at the same cutoff voltage. So if it's overcharged at 4.21, all of this battery cells have to be at 4.21. If two of the cells are at 4.21 or higher, and you got one that's at like 4.15, ain't gonna work. Same thing with discharging. If you have two cells that are 3 volts or one cell that's 3 volts, and the other ones are like 3.5, they all have to be at the same level. The short circuit protection works though, but this is what I did for my speaker to fix this. It's kind of on the raggedy side, so don't judge, but it works. Right there, it's a 3-cell battery. I originally wanted to make it a 4-cell battery, but 2 of the cells were dead because I left it on. And right here is a battery circuit that will disconnect it at 10 volts. It doesn't disconnect it if it gets overcharged. I wanted to see if I can find a circuit board that does that, but it does disconnect it past 10 volts. After 10 volts. So what I did is, this connector is wired in series, you know, positive to negative like that, and the other one is wired in parallel, all the positives, all the negatives, and the very two are the power wires. So basically, whenever I connect this connector in, it's like you're taking all of the positive and negatives of the battery and basically going from cell to cell, positive, negative, in a split second. Same thing with parallel. It's like you're taking all the cells and putting them all in parallel and putting all the positives and negatives together. Works really good. I went to go charge up my battery, and then like a couple of cells are off. It was like 3.5, 3.56, and 3.2. When I plugged it in, they were all at 3.3, perfectly balanced and evened out. Worked like a damn charm. No crazy circuits needed except for that disconnect, but I'm just talking about the balancing part. No circuits needed. You know, if it gets wet, you know, there's no circuits to fuck up with. It works really well. But I kind of messed up. I was trying to install a fuse. This little black wire right here has a piece of solder on it. And basically when solder gets hot, it will melt and break the circuit. But I was trying to see if it worked, and I had a piece of solder that was too thick, and it ended up melting the connection together. So it basically welded that connection together. So, and another bad thing is that I'm going to fix this weekend is that the fuse works if you short the main output / input, but if you accidentally short in between the cells, let's say if a wire gets loose or you didn't do it right, it will just light up. And I think that's what happened, because I had a power bank charging it, this metal power bank charging it, and I didn't have my battery taped off And I was like, okay, yeah, all the negative cells are facing this way, so it's good. But that battery put that power bank hit across the two of these cells and shorted it out, and basically melted the connection together. So next time when I get it, I'm gonna get like a fuse holder for each battery. So 3. I don't know if I'm gonna do 4 fuse holders. Let's say for the fuse holders connected to the main battery, having those a 5 amp load. So if it shorts out and it goes over 5 amps, it breaks the fuse between that one battery cell out of the whole pack. And what I might do is, let's say the main power pack, I'll have it if the fuse connected to the main battery, I'll have like a fuse holder that has less current. So let's say 2.5 amps. I'm sorry, actually, let's say like 8 amps for the individual batteries, and like 5 amps for the main battery, something like that. Or hell, just have a main fuse holder for the 3 battery cells, and I don't even need a fuse holder for the 3 cells. But then again, if I have the fuses for the individual battery cells, like, here we go. If I have the fuse holder, if the fuse holder for the between the individual battery cells is a higher current rating, the main fuse connected to the battery, if I short out the main power, that fuse will blow, and these would be good. But if I just have all of the fuses that are the same, it'll probably can disconnect 1, 2, 3, all 4 of them, but 2 of them might be still connected, but just barely. So I think I'm gonna have these 3 set for a higher current rating. Let's say 8 amps or 10 amps for these, and then only about 8 amps or 5 amps for the main one. So that's what I'm going to do for the speaker. And right now, this is my whole setup for the Forerunner. I have a subwoofer down in the corner. I have a power bank right there that charges off the alternator. And everything's ran from the cigarette lighter. And right now, you can actually see that it's charging. See? I have it charging off the alternator right now. See how it says that right there, if I can hold it? And if I disconnect it, you can see it drops down to, come on. Well, you can't really see it, it's being stupid. But you can see that it's actually moving. It basically jumped like a whole half volt. And guess it's not going to let me play music, but that's going to be the whole setup. I'm not doing a BMS board, and I'm not doing a balance charger. I will get the balance charger. What I am going to do is I'm going to get the balance charger. It's not the balance charger, but it's basically like the main supply. So say 3-cell lithium ion, that battery charger will cut it off it will charge it this the same way as a balance charger will, but it won't actually balance it. So that's what the fuse holder and the 8-pin connectors or 4-pin connectors I'm going to do. And also added these little lights to it right there. There's like a whole underglow light. That's just a utility light, like a 5-volt like work light for the underglow. And I also got these ember lights in the corners. I'm gonna secure those too, make them look better. And I got 2 of those. I want to see if I can find a way to put it on the outside, but it's a whole different video for a whole different time for a whole different everything. But alright, thanks for watching. I know this isn't really an edited video. I just really wanted to post something because I haven't really posted anything in a while. And editing takes time, a lot of time. I'm actually in the parking lot of my job right now. And, you know, if I were to try to trim all this up, it would take me at least an hour or two, or 45 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm just going to do an uncut video. But that's exactly what I want to do for this whole setup. Uh-oh. Because, let me tell you, it definitely works. Simple 4-pin or 3-pin connector, and just have 2 different connectors wired differently. Now I'm trying to figure out, another option is having, you know, 4 switches and just mainly switching them on and off, which also works too. But you know, you flip the wrong switch and you're going to blow fuses or short something out. But before I did this, I had a bunch of relays and I wired it so whenever I'd flip a switch, it would do the same thing. It would disconnect all the poles of the battery and rewire it in series or rewire it in parallel. And it worked too, but I kind of messed up on wiring the relays because the relays got somewhat overpowered because they're 3-volt relays, and it was like a 4-volt battery, or they're either overpowered or underpowered, something like that. And I should have got the ones that were normally closed, not the normally open. I forgot how I did it, but it worked pretty good. But it was just a lot of wiring and a whole bunch of mess, and this is just a lot quicker. And even if you can't open it up from the top, you can still have a plug where you just plug it in like a little adapter and you just jump it like that or something. So, alright, thanks for watching, and I'm about to either ride my bike or go home and take a nap. Not sure. Alright, peace.